Oh my.
Yes, ma'am.
Klingon vessel. Stand down or be fired upon.
That was exciting.
Sorry, I hadn't planned on any entertainment.
Captain, the Klingon is signaling us. He identifies himself as a Dark Destroyer.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Well, well, well. Lost a little something, have you, Kirk?
Our sensors had the shuttle at all times, but it's thoughtful of you to enter neutral space to see about it. Now get gone.
Ah, but it is neutral space. You have no authority to order me out. I just came by to offer a friendly greeting. Get in a little target practice.
If you were friendly, you wouldn't have come in cloaked.
We have been visiting quite a few of your Federation planets lately. The ones that have failed and been abandoned. They make very nice and easy additions to the Klingon Empire.
Karg, get out of here before I run you out under escort. Mr. DeSalle, phasers?
Hot and locked on the Klingon. You hear that, Captain?
I am sure we will see you again, Kirk, as our Empire expands.
I think a welcoming committee for Ambassador Morgan and Mr. Chekhov is in order. Mr. Spock, Bones, you're with me. Scotty, you have the con.
Aye, sir.
Hangar deck secured. Hangar deck pressurizing.
That was really quite a ride.
Permission to come aboard.
Granted, sir.
You know, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you. This way, Ambassador.
That was a nice piece of flying, Mr. Chekhov.
Thank you, sir.
Captain James T. Kirk, Ambassador. Welcome aboard the Enterprise.
Thank you, Captain.
I have to apologize for that little Klingon incident.
My pilot was very skillful. However, I may have to consider the transporter next time.
Allow me to introduce you to my first officer, Mr. Spock,
Mr. Spock?
my chief medical officer, Dr. Leonard McCoy.
Ambassador, if you were injured or shaken up in the shuttle, I'd be
Oh,
happy
not
to...
at all, Dr. McCoy. I'm fine. However, I would appreciate some rest in my quarters.
Well, permit us to escort you to your quarters, Ambassador. Mr. Chekhov, take the ship out of orbit and set a course straight for Earth.
See you later, Pavel.
Lady Reyna.
Let's go, Pavel.
I was never that young.
I trust the council sessions went well.
Not at all, Captain. I'm afraid we didn't accomplish a thing.
That's disturbing.
The Federation credit system is collapsing on planet after planet.
credits aren't worth the same from one planet to the next.
Resupplying consumables in certain sections of the quadrant has become difficult where the value of the credit has been devalued.
Yes, but it's more than that. The planets with viable economies can hold their own, but others less fortunate are falling into economic ruin and will soon be abandoned.
How well we know that. The Enterprise has assisted in the evacuation and relocation of 2 Federation colonies so far.
Really? The Council debated for over 3 months and came up with no solutions, and we won't meet again for another 6 months. I am not hopeful.
Our Klingon visitor pointed out abandoned planets are ripe for the plucking.
Yes, by the Klingons or the Romulans. So, we have economic chaos, failing worlds. We must find a solution. Otherwise, I'm afraid the Federation will not exist much longer.
Mr. Sulu, you are relieved.
Take good care of her tonight, Vincent.
Not a bad piece of flying out there, Chekhov.
Thank you.
Considering you're not rated for helm as well as navigation?
Well, it doesn't matter in the shuttle, as I demonstrated.
Still, a double bridge qualification means more when promotions come up.
So, what's your phaser firing rank?
85.
97.
Have fun at dinner.
Dinner?
With Ambassador Reyna.
Oh, really?
It's just dinner.
Captain, I'm picking up a blip. It's pacing us.
Can you make it out?
Could be a ship. It's just on the edge of our long-range sensors. All I got was a flash. Solid, but unidentifiable.
I want the sensors set for a constant sweep around the ship. I want a 24-hour surveillance. If there's something out there, I want to know what it is.
He told me all the old Russian folktales when I was a boy. But he set them in outer space.
On alien planets, of course.
Of course. I wanted to visit them all, so I became a navigator. Very simple.
Dmitri was such an inspiring man, wasn't he? Do you know that he told me when I was just 22 that I could be the Obsidious System ambassador? He was always so positive. He said he saw in me all the possibilities even then.
He was right. He told me all about you, you know.
Yes, many times you said.
I think he was just a little bit in love.
Was he?
Yes.
You know, this is much too complicated a subject to be discussing at such a late hour. Perhaps we could do it on another occasion.
Tomorrow. Dinner?
Done.
Slumming lad. Not like you to come down here for a visit.
The navigation system showing a slight deviation off prime. It's only 1/10 of a degree, but it's increased since I noticed it last shift.
Took a look at it, but I'll have to wait a bit. We're having a wee bit of a problem with the manifold pressure here.
Mr. Scott! Well?
I don't see how you could have been shielded from that radiation burst, but there doesn't seem to be any damage.
Then I can return to duty.
Take this shift off. Go back to your quarters and relax.
Doctor, I feel fine.
Hey, doctor's orders. And if you decide to disobey, remember, I can pull you in here for a complete 2-day medical exam with probes just because.
I think I'll go back to my quarters. And relax.
Status, Mr. Scott.
Do you want the full report or the summary?
The summary will do.
All right, then. We've got one warp engine, one impulse engine. Full warp will be impossible, and maneuvering will be clumsy. But we're working around the clock to get us back online.
How long?
As soon as humanly possible, so the best we can do.
McCoy to bridge.
Kirk here, what is it, Bones?
Captain, report to sickbay as soon as possible.
Can it wait?
Now, Jim.
All right, Doctor, I'm on my way. Mr. Spock, you have the bridge. Stay on it, Mr. Scott.
This is my intention, sir.
This shouldn't be. I mean, he was perfectly fine on the last scan, yesterday.
Did you miss anything? Well, then why is this happening?
History. On Gamma Hydra 4, he was exposed just as we were to the aging disease. Now, back then, a burst of adrenaline allowed him to escape the full effect, but obviously his body's been harboring the disease all this time.
And?
He suffered a massive radiation dose. It unleashed the disease, and now the Hyronlin therapy isn't working.
Prognosis, Doctor.
He's aged 25 years in one day.
Bones, what can you do?
Nothing, Jim. I can't stop it.